I think I'm live, honey. I think I'm live. Let's see. Oh, I am live. Okay, I see. Hi, everybody. This is Tanya Fleming. Today's video is about sharing my pet photo memorial wall that I'm creating. And it's not going to be like a workshop. You don't have to have any supplies right now. And I just thought I would share with you a little bit about my memorial wall, how it came to be, what I'm working on. It's still ongoing, and what I'm trying to do with this memorial wall. Now, some of the pictures I shared previously in some of my like quick posts were just some of the finished ones that I have. I'm curious. It looks like my lips are off. This happens in the beginning, I think, where my lips look like they're not connected to the audio. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. And I have about 6 or 7 of these photo frames that I'm creating already made. And I want to, before I get into this video, I want to say that this video is brought to you today by my husband, Dustin. His company is Color Cycle Video. And without his help and without his expertise on all of the technology, I really wouldn't be able to do it with 2 cameras. And he is truly the expert in live streaming. So his business is you can have all kinds of videos made, but he can also go live for you. So, and he does it. It's amazing. So I just want to say thank you to him for helping me out today. And um, this is the pet, one of my pet photo frames, or I say cat photo frames, because I started off wanting to do the cat photo frame, and then I realized I had about 22 or 24 pets in my life that I either had the remains of in the little cedar box when they were cremated, or I had lots of pictures, a lot of like this is a real photograph from a camera, and I wanted to incorporate the pictures or have the photos printed and make the frames. So one of the reasons that I started this project, which actually I started this project about probably like 2 years ago. Isn't that crazy? These this is just like the hobby projects that sometimes get put on the back burner, and it's something that when we moved from our other house, and some of you know my story that I was in a moldy house and I got mold illness and almost died, and then we bought a camper and I lived in the camper with Dustin and all of my cats that I was supposedly allergic to. And in the camper I could only have a couple of things. We put everything else in storage, or actually like probably 50% of our stuff we ended up just getting rid of because we couldn't bring it with us. But some things you can bring with you, and we put stuff in storage. And my bag, which I had filled to the brim with my pet remains, all my animals that had passed away, were all in a huge duffel bag, and I had that in the camper. And I would go and look at them and just make sure that everything was all set. But I was so worried that they were going to get damaged or get lost, or I was just so stressed out. And actually, when we moved into our house and I brought that big duffel bag in the house, I realized that it was just such a burden to have all these boxes, and I just felt like I didn't know what to do with them. And after a long while, I've been also trying to downsize still and get rid of things because it feels a lot better. Like in the camper, when we didn't have a lot of things, I actually had a lot more peace. So it's just kind of funny that you can have what do they call it? Creature comforts, but inside your spirit. Oops, sorry, that might have hit my microphone. Inside your spirit, you can be like kind of stressed out by just having too much stuff. And so obviously there are things that are very important, and I really wanted to keep certain things, and my pets remains were one of them. but the burden of having them all in this duffel bag didn't feel like it was very honoring to them or their memory. And then, frankly, at some point while I was in prayer, God just told me it's time to really put them to rest. And um, I still didn't really want to just completely bury the remains. And I thought of this project having one of my pets' pictures in a frame that I would decorate to match their personality. I also wanted to have smaller frames in case, for any reason, I ended up back in that camper. I could put all these on Velcro and stick them to the wall in the camper. And so that's why I personally went for a smaller frame. Although this project, you could do this in so many different ways. And this is just my approach. So I wanted to share it with you to give you some ideas because I have to tell you, having the pictures on the wall, which I've shared some of the pictures of it growing, I have absolutely loved seeing their faces and makes me feel really happy. So it's gone from sort of this burden to this positive feeling. And I also feel like I could just grab them off the wall and I could quickly take them into the camper or a smaller home or anything like that, and I'd always have them with me. So let's see. The cool thing about this is I found some of these frames. The frames have to have like a little give in there. Like some frames have like almost like springs. I don't know if you can see this. It kind of let's see, it kind of bounces. It's like almost like springy. And the cool thing with that is that particular frame will you can put a little bit of you could put like a card or a few different layers inside in between the pictures. And so what I did, and I'm going to flip my camera around so you can see my table with all my stuff on here. I just want to show you a couple of different things that I've done with that. All right. So the frames that I got were just from Amazon, and they're plastic frames, so they're very light. They would easily hold to the wall with Velcro, a couple Velcro strips on the back. And I wanted to, like I said, to have the springy frame so there'd be a little space in between. So here's what I'm talking about. If you take this frame off, there's some of my remains. I made it very flat. It's just a little bit. And the reason I'm sharing this cat is April. April is the very first cat that I officially adopted when I was 18 years old. And I was a volunteer at Standish Humane Society and just fell in love with April and was able to adopt her. So I was driving a 1978 Chevy van. It was my dad's van. And I remember I didn't have a cat carrier. And I put her in a box, a cardboard box, and I could see her eyes looking out at me as I drove home with her in the van. So anyway, I wanted to be able to, with other pets, be able to put maybe in one or two cards or letter pieces that people have sent me that were great. And I wanted to have a space for a little bit of the ashes. So I thought this was going to be a lot harder emotionally. At first it was, I have to be honest. If any of you, you're all cat people and animal people, and you just know how hard this is. So sometimes these things go into a box or a bag or a drawer or somewhere, and you just don't, deal with it for a while. And so this is a very positive, creative, and honoring process that I thought I would share. The other thing that I added, and this is kind of, I don't know, for some reason it's upside down. I wanted to basically add a little description. I'm not sure how this is. I think it's a little backwards. I wanted to add a little description on the back so that I could remember their story. One of the things I wanted to have was on the front was either their birthday or the time that they were with me, something about the season of life that they spent with me. So this could be different for each animal, because like some animals, I adopted, like my cat Birdie, who's still with me. I adopted her when she was just a baby, and I don't know her birthday, so I just will share on there when I adopted her and my rescue story. So these frames are 5x8s, and I wanted to be able to incorporate, like I said, I wanted to be able to decorate the frame. Um, I of course cannot find anything pink that I like online, and honestly, the next time I would go with a wooden frame, I think, even though they're a little heavier, but maybe pine. The only reason I say that is because these frames, even though I like that there's space in there and I like the size, have been an absolute nightmare. I'm going to switch back here so you can see my face. These frames have been an absolute nightmare to decorate. And that is one of the reasons that this project has been taking forever. It's because trying to paint these frames are it's so bad. And I'm not a super creative, well, I'm a creative, but I'm not a super crafty person. Like I know a lot of people that will watch this video. I know I have a couple of clients that are very crafty, and they might even have pulled me aside and said, "Don't use these." So I don't know if I would order these again, but you get the point. You're getting a frame. It doesn't really matter what color they are. You're going to decorate them. That's the goal, is to have them match who they are or your theme in your house, that sort of thing. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to use different types of scrapbooking paper, because I love scrapbooking. That's one thing I do love, and it's really very peaceful. I love scrapbooking. So I wanted to be able to put the scrapbooking paper behind them, because honestly, sometimes you have a picture and you don't have you just have a little tiny picture. And I also put this one in here. This is me with April when I was really, like, I think I was like 18 years old. Good Lord. In my little hippie dress. So anyway, I just loved her to pieces. So what I would do is I would suggest, if you're a crafter and you know what type to buy so that you can, get these painted the way you want, I would buy those, or I would buy wood. I did try to use primer. Let's see if it'll, I don't know, put it here. So I did practice with primer. And then what ended up happening was they were still like it just didn't seem right. So I had to scrape it off and sort of sand it down. And then I tried painting. First, I tried spray painting. This was terrible. This didn't work at all. Even though it says it has primer in it, this didn't work at all. I thought I could lay them all outside and just line them all up. I had light pink and this beautiful berry colored pink. It didn't work. It bubbled. It didn't take it. I don't know. I'm not. If you're a crafter, please tell me why it didn't take it, because I would like to learn how to do that. Then I got these little ones here. These didn't really take either. The one that I did like, which was an acrylic paint, was this one. It's a little metallic-y looking, and it went on more like thicker, almost like an oil, or it just seemed to do good. And then let me see this one here. Let me get this picture. This is the one of the dog I had during COVID, and her name's Jelly Bean. And if you can see, it's kind of, this one turned out good, except it was the frame not perfect. So if you're looking for perfection, I wasn't really looking for perfection. I wanted to just get it done, get the project done. And so, oops, let's see. I'm trying to see where it would be better. This is glass. There we go. You can kind of see the shimmer on there. So, and she has a little story on the back. I put a little adoption story, how she came to be into my life. She was adopted in the spring of 2020. and she passed away in April 2021. She had stomach cancer. So anywho, let's see. So I want to go back to show you a little bit of the process. I'm not going to do a full one, but I just want to show you with one of my cat's remains, Albert. Okay. So this is how I start the whole process. I have a couple of frames here for Albert's frame. And this I put together, I basically wrote a list of all of the pets that I wanted to do. And I got pictures of them that I really loved. They were my favorites. And then what I do is I look at the picture, and then I see which one I want to do. Sometimes I go through, just like scrapbooking, you would trim around. And so this one I like. This one I might trim. He was very handsome. He was one of my clients' cats. And this is also very nice as well. So I have to pick. And I think that's the hardest part. My goal was to be able to see their eyes. So I think I'll probably go with this one, but I do like this one because he looks so comfortable. And that just makes my heart happy. So anyway, I don't need to make the decision right now to be able to continue. So then I will show you, I have the box from the cremation place. And I have his paw. And I'm trying to find a way to incorporate these, and I haven't decided yet. I tried putting them on a ribbon on the frame, and it made it topsy-turvy. So and it made it too heavy. So that didn't exactly work out. But I do have a whole bunch of those. And so for some of you, let me go back to my camera here. Some of you might want to do a project like this, and you just want to do it with the pictures and maybe even the story or the time that the season of life that they were with you. Some of you may not want to even do that at all. You might want to go to Shutterfly and have them printed up on those big, beautiful, you can get some beautiful, those things that go up on the wall. And there was no place for me to put the ashes. I wanted them to be like sealed in there as best as I could. So that's why I didn't use that. But that is another awesome option to get the pictures of your cats around the house. Because I'm telling you, it makes you happy to see their faces. And then some of you are not sure about putting ashes. When I hear about people putting ashes into things like necklaces and different things, it's at first I heard about that and I thought that is just absolutely weird. But my goal is actually to put the rest of these remains to rest in a pet memorial garden outside, so that if for some reason we ever do leave this property, I know that number one, that they're where they are, and I still will have a piece of them with me. Does that make sense? So it's important. It was important for me to face the ashes, to face the remains. And at the first one I did, which was April's, was really hard. But after that, it's been much easier. And I want to show you the process of it because it's really not that hard. The way that I do this is I got these jewelry, they're called jewelry envelopes, I think. We'll use them for jewelry. They're basically a little Ziploc bag, and they seal. And you literally only need a little teeny spoon. I take a plastic spoon, and I do wear a mask because I don't want to get any dust in my lungs, because that wouldn't be good for many reasons. But that's only one reason I wear my mask, is when I do this. Oh, maybe pollen. Okay, so I'm going to put some newspaper on my table here, and I'm going to show you how I do this. For those of you that are like really emotional and you can't bear it, I just ask that you scrub forward a little bit and from this video, or close your eyes, and it's really not that bad. just ashes. So it looks like the sand on the beach is what it does. So this is Albert. Let me switch the camera now. Okay. And let's see. So I'm going to open Albert's bag. I hope I don't sound muffled. I am wearing my mask. Oh no. My computer stopped. I hope that's okay. Hope you can still see me. Okay. So I am going to put it all back in here. Let's see what we have. Sometimes they're sealed, and sometimes they actually have a tie. They're all different, but let's see. Albert, my little friend Albert, and I'm going to make a tiny hole so I can get my spoon in there. Let's see. Okay. And see, it's really not that bad. And when I do this, when I'm by myself, I remember, try to think of the stories. And actually it smells like the cedar from the box. It doesn't smell bad. And I take my bag and just a little bit of this ashes, and I see how I want to put a little bit more. I like to have, so it's flat. You want to make sure it'll be flat, and then I seal it. Okay. And then I'll actually get a tie and close this up better after I'm done. But for time's sake, I just close it back up. Okay. So that wasn't too bad. And now I have some of his ashes here. All right. Let me just flip back over here. Okay. So as you can see, that wasn't that bad. It's more the emotion of the memory that makes it hard. And it's okay, because that's part of the grieving process. So I'm going to flip back to my desk because I want to show you how it fits inside the frame. Actually, I'm going to open up a new frame because they come with like a plastic glass. And I want to show you how it works. Again, the little spring in here, and you have some space. This would be like the photo. So let's just for kicks and giggles here. I'm actually going to take, let's see. I think this one would look nice, or a lighter pink. See how it's lighter pink? I'd really like to, when I make this, I'll probably go with a lighter pink because he was a very laid back kitty boy. He was a very nice boy. I will find something like maybe something like this. I'll make sure that it fits in there. I will make sure this fits. This is just, I'm doing this really fast. Just to give you a quick idea. If any of you think you might be interested in an actual class, I could put that together like a workshop. I could send, give a list of all the supplies, because you do have to get the frames and the paint and the scrapbook paper. I love going and trying to find scrapbook paper that really resonates with me for each of these pictures. And I actually had a dog, my dog Elijah, he loved strawberries, strawberry culottes. He was diabetic, and he loved strawberry culottes, and he was just so funny. And I tried to find paper with strawberries. I still haven't found any paper with strawberries on there yet, but I am sure that it exists. And I'd like to, I'll show you his photo. Did I do Elijah's? I might have done Elijah's. Let me show you. I can show you what I did for his. But so let's see. So I might end up using the other picture. I'm not sure. I'm still torn between the one with his eyes being open, which but I'm just showing just to see. And I don't like how that has like a sharp corner. So So I like softened corners. Yeah. So this is what I would do. I would, I would actually spend a lot of time on designing the picture and the frame and the layout and what have you. And then I'd put the picture in, and if I had anything in here like a card or something that someone gave me, which I actually might have something, but I would slip it in there, and then you have to make this as flat as you can, or it'll push up on the center of the frame. And then you put the frame backing in. Yep. And you see how there's still a little lift here. I don't know if you can see that. It's very minor. I mean, you can tell that something's sort of in there. I could still put something else in there. I have been taking these off just because I don't need them on the wall. But some of them still have them. They weren't going on the wall right. And then there's my little guy. Now I would add when he was with me in here. And then I would add the story, which I would write a description of his story, more details, and I'd tape it here. So this isn't a glamorous project. I think that over time, let me switch back so you can see me. I think over time, I'm going to nail this down even better. Like I think the ones that I'll do probably towards the end will be totally beautiful. And then maybe the first ones I did, I'll look back and say, oh, why did I do it that way? And if you, like, again, I said, if you are a crafter and you have an idea that could really knock this out of the park, I would like you to put a comment and tell me because I would like to do a little bit more and kind of explore creatively. Let me show you one more that I did that I decoupaged, which was kind of interesting. Like I said, I've tried a bunch of different things. So this is the one I decoupaged. Let me see. This is Elijah. He's the one. This frame is not my favorite. You can tell. This is not. They did not take. I did not like this frame. So this frame, I know I'm going to be redoing. I really see him. I have another picture of him I might actually end up using, and I want to put strawberries behind him because he loves strawberry culottes. He also liked broccoli, but I also found broccoli. So that's why I just kind of put him together in there. So he just makes me laugh. But I wanted to be able to see their eyes because when you take pictures, now that I know how to take pictures better of animals, getting a good pictures of their eyes. Their eyes have to be clear and just even if those are the ones that are in focus the most, the rest can kind of blur out. But there's just something about seeing their eyes. I don't know. You just remember how happy they were. And that's what it's all about. Having the pictures on the wall to remember your friends that season of life, and not to have them in a box for me, not to have them in a drawer. I want to create a garden with them there, but I wanted to keep a piece of them with me. So I can pull these off of the wall and I can take them with me wherever I go. And that was my goal. So I wanted to share that with you and see if this resonates with you. Especially, I know a lot of you, I've been at your houses doing cat sitting. I see the cedar boxes and I feel for you. I was in the same exact position, and I even have like, I'll also try to share a picture of all the boxes that I had laid out before I started this process. And I was just literally, I was overwhelmed. So I hope this video can help you and maybe help you think about doing something with your pet's remains, something that could bring a little bit of that joy that you had with them. If you have a beautiful picture that's your favorite picture, to be able to put it in a frame or go to Shutterfly or someplace like that and have it developed, maybe a big size, and just it's okay to put the pictures around. And I have lots of clients, and you guys have pictures of your kids and your family vacations and all kinds of stuff. But I don't see any pictures of your dogs and cats. So, well, except I actually have one client that has pictures of her cats um, around the house, and it's awesome. It's just really cool. And I just wanted to encourage you to, this is just an option if you have a lot of your pets remains, or even if you just have one or two. This is something that you could do with or without the ashes. So if you have any questions, um, please comment once this video replays. Comment, and if you have any tips you can share as a crafter, please send them along. And I just want to thank you so much, and I hope that you have a perfect day.